anyone beneath that, all your family squabbles and so on, or robbers coming into your house, that just happens amongst the animals. You're all animals. We see you as one big mass, and therefore we can't allow you to use violence yourself.
And they call that the power monopoly of force.
That's right. Yeah.
That's in a Unidare document, July 7th, 2001, where they said that's why the American people must be armed. And the bill has been introduced by the Democrats. Barack Obama, if they pass it, is set to sign it, where the Attorney General can ban any and all guns simply by uttering the word ex cathedra. Literally as God Emperor. I mean, this, you can't make it up. It's up on Infowars.com now in the News and Focus archive, or featured story archive. Let's go to another caller here. This isn't a drill, folks. This is for real. This is happening. Let's go ahead and talk. Joe hung up. Bill in Illinois and then others. Bill, you're on the air with Alan Watt.
Hi, gentlemen. I was hoping that we could just roll into the weekend and give people some hope. I know that all the information that comes out is really paralyzing and scary to most people, but the more you dive into it and see what's going on and try to wake people up and knock them out of their comas, I'm seeing a groundswell of people waking up in the Chicagoland area, and everybody is being laid off. They're trying to figure out how they're going to make rent or put food on the table, and now's the time when people are paying attention, and now's the time where we can all start to organize and provide solutions and start a blog or make videos or pass out your DVDs and get people to be aware.
Well, I agree, but here's an analogy, and we'll get Alan's comment and then let you counter-comment. If someone is taking this information we're giving as paralyzing, they shouldn't. The establishment, through chemicals, through the media, through the television, through the culture, because then we pick up the propaganda and regurgitate, then that gives it with the pheromone activation, you know, in the true third dimension, the reality trigger in the mind, but that gets into some more sophisticated issues that I've seen. We have to understand that it's like they've given us a big shot of a sedative, okay? And then this show is literally a shot of adrenaline where you're laying on a railroad tracks, you've been shot up full of Thorazine, you can't get up. Alan Watt and I are coming in with adrenaline going, you know, to where you can actually get up and get off the track. And so we're just telling you the full truth, folks, so you know what you're facing. Okay, because if people are being paralyzed by this, I mean, I don't know about you in my life, but I mean, Alan, when somebody starts swinging at you, I don't feel paralyzed. I go into gear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you must do. Again, this is a war, and when you realize it is a war strategy, and you're in it whether you like it or not, then you have to fight back with all that you can do, no matter what it is, and don't be overwhelmed by it. This has been on the go before we were born, and when you realize it's always a long-term system, long-term goals, then you're still in the battle. It's not over until the fat lady sings. And
yeah, you can't opt out of this. You can't opt out of this. You were born into this.
Yes, and what you have to do too is realize those things which are paralyzing you, those things which are numbing your brain, like the television, and stop watching it, start reading, getting into the factual information that is put out by the authorities themselves. You can find the stuff. It's all over the place. And realize this is all very, very real. What can I do? And start doing something. I started off handwriting stuff and photocopying stuff and sending it out to hundreds of people who had a voice when I had none. And that's the sort of thing that you have to do. You have no option but to do something. And you are an active combatant in this system, whether you like it or not, because the elite have declared war upon you.
Well, that's what I do. I try to bring people that I respect and I think have information that's needed to this large platform, the biggest in alternative media. And that's why this platform is so precious, folks, and why we need your financial support. Because we're trying to do, you know, this isn't a very big operation compared to the establishment. It's tiny. But compared to the Liberty Movement, this is about as big and as strong as it gets. And it's very expensive. And so please buy the books and videos, donate. I'm glad to see that the auction there is over $45,000 for the bullhorn. I had no idea it would go that high. But that is very, very exciting. And doesn't close out till next Wednesday night, so we'll see what happens with that. But, sir, go ahead. Anything else you wanted to add there briefly, Bill? I agree with you. Now is the time that people are finally, while the New World Order is finally emerging, and by the way, Governor Blagojevich has been impeached by the Illinois House, and he faces trial now in the Senate. Go ahead.
Alex, I was just going to add that, and I've said this before, the old saying of "we are the ones we've been waiting for." I thank you. You guys actually had posted some of my videos on your site this week, and I encourage people to check out How to Stop the New World Order. It's Alex and David Icke giving you some information. It's hard-hitting, and hopefully it'll inspire you to get off your butt and to start becoming an active member.
Thank you, sir. Got to move on to other callers. Thank you. Let's go ahead and take another one here. Let's talk to Mark in Oregon. Mark, you're on the air worldwide. Go ahead.
Thank you, Alex, and hello to you, and hello to Alan. Alex, I want to just mention quickly, as a quick aside here to my main body of my call, I really, if you can, I would urge you to have another money bomb as soon as possible. I figure you probably got a very limited amount of artifacts there, which would probably all auction very well. But if that be the case, perhaps that will take the place of a money bomb for a time. But whatever it takes, Alex, in order for you to be able to do your job unhindered by lack of funds at this point, because they're really up in the ante faster than, well, like you say, sometimes it takes your breath away these days. They're moving so fast. And they are pulling everything off the shelf at one time, using it all at one time in order to overwhelm us at this point. This is their strategy. I firmly believe that. But, Alan, you know, the ultra-elite, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the English royalty, and the royalty of the Netherlands, the Vatican, Black Jesuit sect, they've been promised by their God, whom they call Lucifer, that they're going to inherit the earth. And he has the name of Satan now, and he is the devil. But they do his bidding in order to get this deal of inheriting the whole earth eternally. And of course, the destruction and or aberration of all of God's creation on this planet is the devil's bidding. So we see that. But they're so under the illusion of Satan, the master of illusion, that they don't realize that, as the Bible prophesies, they will fall completely in their efforts and completely fail to accomplish their efforts, and actually are going to burn eternally in hell.
Do you have a question or comment?
They're not going to destroy it all.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the question part of it, Alex, is, Alan, you know, to your knowledge, who is the elite Maximus these humans are above the usual, most well-known villains that I've mentioned?
Well, you might be closer to a truth than you realize. There's definitely a power in this world that's making itself manifest through these people. And one of the symptoms of it is the fact that you can't get so many thousands of workers working towards this New World Order, this planned horror society, where they're all like clones of each other on every single topic. That in itself is not normal. It's unnatural. So there's definitely something working through them. It's up to the individuals who do the study to figure out what it is.
Well, people call it spirituality, but they've proven the sixth sense. They've proven that we're only seeing a thin band of the full spectrum, and the sixth sense, or Aborigines always know when their mother dies. They can be 3,000 miles away in a mine, and they come out, and every time, like say an Australian say, my mother just died, fly me out there, and they're always right. I mean, and I've experienced things like that. And it's true, the elite are tied together by almost like a spiritual broadcasting system. It's like they're downloading the same evil directory. What is that, Alan, in your opinion?
Well, you went into ancient writings, even before what we know as the Bible was written. They did talk about a war in the heavens and in the earth. This is pre-Hebrew. And it wasn't over. It would last for thousands and thousands, maybe millions of years before the next clash would come along. And it was, again, written about in the Zoroastrian mysteries later on, to do with good and evil itself, always in battle with each other. And it's up to the individual, as I say, how they interpret this. But all you can really do, ultimately, is to interpret it according to your own personal life's experience.
Yeah, I can tell you how the elite interpret it. They're kind of along the fifth element line. Mm-hmm. And they worship.
But they do understand both sides and how to manipulate both sides of it, too.
Well, that's the Illuminati mystery religion, is the balance that they believe in. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your call. Michael, Dan, and Scott, final call, straight ahead, with the always intriguing Alan Watt. I'm Alex Jones.
Silver is mankind's oldest natural antibiotic. This very special mineral has been used for centuries by most cultures throughout the